Hello, and welcome back to Women for Wealth. So today I want to talk about how you can reduce your spending in the middle of inflation. I mean, right now inflation is high, prices keep rising, and we knew it was going to get worse before it got better. We hope it's going to get better in the near future, but we can't guarantee that. So until inflation comes down, we need to be aware of it and we need to be taking actions to cover it. Inflation is eating away at our wallets, groceries, gas, utilities, everything costs more. It feels like your money just isn't stretching as far as it used to, and salaries are not able to keep up with inflation. But here's the good news. You can take control over your spending. So let me give you 7 real-world ways to save money even when inflation is sky high. So the first thing you need to do is track your spending. You need to have a monthly budget. Before you can fix a leak, you have to find it. You can use apps like Mint or YNAB to track your spending for 30 days. You can also just do like I do and use an Excel spreadsheet. You're able to spot small expenses that add up, such as subscriptions, takeout, impulse buys. You want to cut all those out, but you have to be able to identify them first. So track your spending for a minimum of, I say, 3-month rolling average. So rolling average means as you add a month, you take the back month off, but you always have 3 months that you're gathering data, and then you can see trends over time, especially if you're like me and you want to track it and, create a graph or, a chart. You can then see where you're spending your money. But I know a lot of banks now, such as USAA, offer spending trackers that will show a pie chart that will show you what you're spending your money on, and you can dive down into it, and you can see, if you have a budget, you can have your anticipated spending for a month, and then you can do your actual spending for a month and compare it. Are you spending more money on things that you didn't anticipate? If you budgeted X amount for restaurants and meals out, well then, are you meeting that expectation, or are you exceeding it, or are you underestimating it? If you're going out to eat less than you anticipated, then that's additional money that you can save and you can do something with. If you're over exceeding your budget and you're eating more at restaurants than you anticipate, well, you need to be able to identify that and then be able to reduce that. The only way you can improve something is if you measure it. So track your budget, track your spending. Number 2, cut what doesn't serve you. Now that you're tracking your spending, cancel or reduce anything that doesn't align with your values or needs. Think streaming services that you rarely use or brand name items that you can easily replace. Number 3, buy in bulk strategically. Buying staples like rice, beans, pasta, even toilet paper in bulk can save you money if you'll actually use them. You don't want to hoard them and you don't want to waste them, but if there's something that you and your family will actually use and you can buy it in bulk and save money, that's a great way to go. Tip number 4, meal plan. Meal planning helps you to beat inflation. When you plan your meals, you can do it based on what's on sale that week. Use leftovers creatively. For example, you can get 1 rotisserie chicken and you can make 3 meals out of it. Trust me, you can definitely do that. Even Walmart now, if you go onto the Walmart app or the Walmart website, you can go in and they have free recipes, free meal planning. You can even, if you're on the app, you can pick meals and you can click and put the items to create that meal in your shopping cart. And then you can actually buy the ingredients you need for the recipes in the same app, which is pretty cool, pretty handy. I haven't done this yet because I try to focus on what's on sale that week in bulk items. If I can buy things in bulk, staples like rice and beans, flour, all of those things, anything that you can make from scratch or cook yourself is going to be a lot cheaper than buying it out on the market. So, meal plan. Plan what you're going to eat for a whole week for your family, what you're going to cook, and then stick with it. Use your leftovers. Stick with it. You can reduce your monthly meal budget by a lot if you stop going to restaurants and you just cook your food yourself, especially if you focus on from scratch cooking and buying staples in bulk. Man, vices. If you have any inkling about reducing your budget because of inflation, get rid of vices now. Stop smoking, stop using tobacco products, stop buying alcohol, stop any of those things that are vices, because vices are crazy expensive. The amount that they cost has gone through the roof, and to me, it's not worth it. Not to mention, if you cut vices out of your life, you're going to be a lot healthier. I think it was the comedian Mitch Hedberg said, you need vices so that when you get old, you can stop them so you gain 10 years back. I don't know, something like that. So tip number 5, use cashback and discount tools. So, there's browser extensions like Rakuten or Honey, and you can use that with credit cards with good cash back on groceries or gas if you pay them off monthly. Now, do not have or use a credit card unless you're going to pay it off in full every month, because the quickest way to be poor is to allow credit card debt to accumulate. If you're not paying it off every month, then I can't even imagine. I mean, that is the quickest way to become poor. So do not use your credit card unless you're able to pay it off completely. Total account owed, pay it in full every month. If you can do that and do that consistently and have the self-discipline, then, some of these credit cards with cash back or gas or whatever can be beneficial, but you have to have the self-discipline. Tip number 6, renegotiate and shop around. Call your internet provider, your phone provider, ask for a better rate. Shop around for insurance. Companies often lower insurance prices just to keep you from switching. So this is something that we recently did where the insurance, if you have insurance that you've had the same insurance for years and years, go out, get some competitive quotes. If you like your insurance provider, call your insurance provider and say, hey, I'm getting competitive quotes. I got this quote from this company. Can you match it? I'd prefer to stay with you, but if you can't match it, I'm going to move my policy to a different provider. 9 times out of 10, they will match that lower price just to keep you from switching. Tip number 10, invest in inflation-fighting skills. Learn DIY skills, cook more at home, learn to garden, even pick up a side hustle. Skills are the ultimate hedge against inflation. So the more you can do yourself and not have to pay someone else to do, the more money you're going to keep in your pocket. So a great example of this is recently I was looking at adding a deck to my backyard that I could put a greenhouse on. Nothing big, a little 6 foot by 8 foot greenhouse, but they wanted $3,000 more than the material cost for the deck builder to build it. So I'm like, you know what? I can save the $3,000 and me and my husband can go buy the material from Lowe's and we could put together a floating deck. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. And everything is on the internet. Go to YouTube and say, hey, show me videos on how to build a floating deck. There's 25,000 videos on how to build a floating deck. So there's no reason you should have to pay someone else to do something that you can easily DIY yourself. And there's enough training out there that's free. So utilize YouTube. It's a great resource. In conclusion, let me say, inflation isn't forever, but the habits you build now will pay off for years. You don't have to out-earn inflation. You just have to outsmart it. So which of these tips are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments below. I'm eager to hear what you think is going to work for you and how you're going to implement it. And also let me know how successful it was. Until next time, I wish you health and wealth. What did I do this time, Miss Willow? Did Mama do good? So you did good, Mama. Thank you. Where's Miss Chrissy Ann? Chrissy Ann, you're taking a nap. I hope I wasn't that boring.